the 2,476 meeting of the Darien Police Commission. First order of business, acceptance of the minutes of both April 18th, which was a regular meeting, and 4/29, which was a special meeting. Make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
All right, I'm in a second, and did you have any?
No comments.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chief, correspondence?
First item of correspondence is that the head of security for the Tokenique Board is requesting a reappointment for Special Constable Kathy Conlon. They wrote, the Tokenique Association respectfully requests the reappointment of Special Constable Kathy Conlon for an additional 2-year term. Constable Conlon has been a tremendous asset to the Tokenique Association and our community for the past 8 years, and we would like for her to continue in that role. Sincerely, Quentin C. Stevens. So I think we need to vote on that.
Okay, I make a motion that we reapprove. Yes. We endorse the reappointment of Kathy Conlon as Special Constable of the Town of Darien beginning July 1st.
I'll just make a comment. My interactions with her have always been terrific, so I'll second the motion.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. I'm going to sign that while I'm sitting here. All right, you're still up.
Yep, next item. What do we have here? I received a very nice text from one of the special investigators down at the Stanford Superior Court, GA1, complimenting Officer Mike DeSantis, who, as you know, is our court liaison officer. He does a lot of work behind the scenes, and it's not really anything to be called glorified by any stretch of the imagination, but he does an excellent job. They really appreciate him down there at the court, and recently he was away for a week on vacation. They certainly missed him, and they let me know. So I thought that was nice that they recognized his performance. Mike always does a good job for us. We have a couple of late entries here, correspondence as well. On Monday, we were invited to buy the Sail and Power Squadron, Darien, their local Darien Sail and Power Squadron of America's Boating Club. They received a proclamation from First Selectman John Zagrodzki, so myself, Captain Mastriani, and members of our Marine Division were present for the proclamation, and to commemorate 2024 Safe Boating Week. We got to meet some of the head inspectors of the Power Squadron, some past commanders, and we got to meet Jeff Brown, who is the current commander of the Darien Sail and Power Squadron. So he sent a nice thank you note appreciating our attendance for that event. I received a text over the past couple of weeks commending Officer Matthew McDonald's good work on a motor vehicle accident that he investigated. In fact, the compliment came from the sister of the party who was actually at fault in the accident, but they said that how he handled things made her feel much more comfortable than she initially did after being involved in an accident, and they reached out. I thought that, as we are also hearing from other supervisors pretty regularly, that Officer McDonald is doing an excellent job for us.
He's been on his own now for over a month at least, right?
Yes.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah.
Right. That's great.
And then also the last couple items that were late entries here was the Atrio Darien stopped by yesterday in an appreciation of Peace Officer Memorial Day and Police Appreciation Week, dropped off some fantastic pastries and cookies from Angela Mia. We were very appreciative of the staff there at Atria. And then also today we received a gift card from Rita Bailey from the Darien Domestic Abuse Council, just thanking the Chief's office for all the hard work that we put in and attending their meetings that they have here most times, right? Mm-hmm. And they're looking forward to continue working with us in the future. They dropped off a gift card, but as the commission knows, when we receive gift cards, by town policy, we turn that over to Human Services for family or individuals that may be in need. So we'll coordinate with Allie Ramsteck over at Human Services, but that was very nice of Ms. Bailey to recognize us and show her appreciation.
Chief, I don't think any of the commissioners got a email about the free cookies, but that's okay. Continue with that tradition.
There wasn't enough to share, I'm sorry.
Oh, there wasn't.
There wasn't enough.
Thank you for thinking, though.
And I believe that's it for correspondence.
Okay. Department activity, Captain?
Okay. Some notable incidents. Now, this activity is from April 11th through May 15th, so we have quite a few entries here. On April 12th, a 46-year-old man from New York was arrested for forgery and criminal impersonation at TD Bank while attempting to open a fraudulent account. On April 20th, a 24-year-old man from New York was arrested for residential burglary, larceny of a motor vehicle, criminal trover, and larceny 4 after being involved in a motor vehicle accident where he stole the homeowner's vehicle. On April 21st, there were 2 larcenies at CVS, one of hair care items valued at $535 and the other of miscellaneous items valued at $1,492. The investigation is ongoing. On the same day, a male and female subject entered Stop and Shop and stole just under $1,100 worth of items. The detective division is investigating that and may have some possible suspects.
It was the same day. Any chance they were related?
No, different. On April 22nd, while officers were responding to Whole Foods on motor vehicle burglaries in progress, found and arrested 3 subjects. They were also found to be involved in motor vehicle burglaries at Trader Joe's and Odelices earlier in the day. The 2 males and 1 female were all from New York. On April 23rd, Darien detectives arrested a 24-year-old New York man by warrant from an incident that occurred back in 2022. The subject used counterfeit bills at Stop and Shop. On April 29th, the Darien Police Department assisted DEA, Norwalk, and Stamford PDs in a search and arrest warrant of a Darien resident. On April 29th, while an officer was patrolling the area of Stop and Shop, noticed a suspicious vehicle. A Stop and Shop employee alerted the officer to a recent shoplifting. The officer stopped the vehicle, located and arrested 3 subjects involved in the incident. 2 males and 1 female were all from Waterbury, Connecticut. On May 10th, a subject stole $300 worth of cold medicine from Walgreens. A wallet was taken out of a customer's bag at Trader Joe's. A subject entered Andrew Stefanu Salon and Spa and took money out of 2 employee handbags. That was all on the same day. In the early morning hours of May 15th, 2 subjects smashed the front door glass and gained entry into David Harvey Jewelers. It is unknown at this time the value of items taken. I'm sorry, it was actually 4 subjects, not 2. Same people were also burglarized a jewelry store in Fairfield earlier that morning. In the same time frame, we had 4 domestic incidents, 5 incidents of identity theft or check fraud, 11 burglaries of vehicles, 28 motor vehicle accidents, 232 traffic stops conducted by the Patrol Division and Traffic Division, a total of 1,372 calls for service, and 113 aided calls.
Well, a couple of points there. I think in the last Police Commission meeting, we spoke of the surprising increase of the amount of shoplifting that we've had at CVS, Walgreens, Whole Foods, Stop and Shop, and our officers have been targeting those locations. And as you can see, and on a couple of occasions, just being present in the area, they've made great self-initiated arrests of people from not only out of state, but within state, but pretty far away. It's not a problem that's limited to Darien. It's all over. There isn't a lot of prosecutions happening for these types of crimes, and we are not insulated from the criminal activity that the whole area is seeing. But we are doing our best to not only try and catch them in the act, but our detectives are doing a great job with follow-up work. I like to make sure that we, even if it's a case from 2 or 3 years ago, it shows our detectives did the hard work then, continued to follow through, and made the arrest and bring it to a successful conclusion. As far as the jewelry store, we have seen a big rise in jewelry store burglaries and in some case robberies in the area. I think within the last week, Trumbull Mall, Fairfield, Westport, Darien, Greenwich, they're all being targeted for the high-end pieces of jewelry. A lot of it's been overnight. On a couple of occasions, it's been when the stores are open, and of course, the employees and owners are directed to just let happen what's going to happen, don't try and get involved, we don't want to see anybody get hurt, but unfortunately, I think that's leading to more incidents of this nature. So our detectives have a good start with this investigation, and through networking and information that we've already had, I think we're on our way to successfully wrapping up that case, even though it just started. We did send out a news release this afternoon, giving some background on that incident, and some video, I think, you may see on our local TV channels. We're hoping to develop a little bit more information from the public, just from the information that we put out. But that's about it.
Chief, I'll just make a comment. I think during the same period as well, maybe a little bit overlooked in rearview mirror at this point, but the issue that we had on 95, I think the communication from the department was very timely. It was very clear, constant communication, right, with not only with the community, but with emergency personnel. And I think everybody did a great job here. I know you guys are involved 24/7 in that, so appreciate that.
Yeah, there was amounts of traffic that, probably none of us have ever seen here.
Yeah.
We worked well with Norwalk and the state, and everybody kind of stepped up in town and worked together, and I think we were all surprised by how quick it got back to normal, so thankful for that.
Anything else?
Don't think so. Not for department activity.
Okay. Public comment, we do have people here from the public, so if your item is not on the agenda, we can discuss it now. If you see your item on the agenda and want to table it till it comes up, that is fine too. But yeah, go right ahead. If you would say your name and where you're from and
Should I stand or should I?
How are you?
Whatever you like.
I'm Father Liam Quinlan from the parish of St. John here in Darien. And I've been dealing with Captain Hudima about, we want to have a procession on the Feast of Corpus Christi, which is Sunday, June 2nd. In fact, the Feast of Corpus Christi is actually the 30th of May. It's a Thursday. But we moved it to Sunday so as to be able to do it on a day when traffic and things are not a typical day, of course. They're often done. I don't know if one's been done in Darien in a while. I'm not sure. They used to always be done. We've been encouraged to do them, but the reason or the rationale behind one of the major ones is that Brother Charles Marie Rooney, who was born Will Rooney in Darien, a native of Darien, is being ordained to the priesthood the week before, and will be coming to celebrate a first mass in our church, which was the church that he attended before he went for studies. He'll be returning to his family who live in Darien as well, Bill and Mary Rooney, who live here. So we're having a reception for him. We're having a special mass, and we want to have a procession that will go on outside. We were looking at it, and that's why I've been dealing a lot with Captain Hudima about how to go about doing it. I walk the property regularly and trying to think of a way. What we'd have to do is walk outside with a monstrance, which is a thing that we use to display the consecrated Eucharist. He himself, actually, Father Rooney, would actually be holding it, and the congregants, as well as other people who would come, would join and walk along. I was hoping it could be on the sidewalk, but there really isn't an awful lot of sidewalk on the post road. It's okay. On Rings End Road, it's very difficult. What I'm thinking of is actually walking out our front door, walking along our own path, but then turning right, walking down just to what is the 100 feet to the corner, and turning onto Rings End Road to back entrance, back driveway. I've just had it repaved actually because it didn't look too good in a while. But so to make sure that people would be safe walking on it. And then going back and forth, and Captain Hudima has been very helpful about like, okay, well, what are you doing? We're trying to talk about it. She got back to me and said, look, this is, it's a state road. It's, it's a lot of things going on there.
But is the issue the post road because you have sidewalks and you
We
can
do it, yeah.
string back there.
Yeah.
'Cause and then it's the turning the corner.
Turning the corner and going down.
But there's a sidewalk there too.
There's a sidewalk, how do you say, it's not paved, it's a macadam sidewalk. It's not it's asphalt. Yeah. As opposed to and it's, I don't know, it's very, very.
I mean, there is a sidewalk there on Rings End Road because
Yeah.
people walk down there to get to the.
I walk.
Right,
Yeah.
it
There's a
is,
sidewalk.
it is narrow. It's narrow, it's probably
Yeah.
2-3 feet wide, but.
Yeah. I'm just trying to imagine a procession, and what I'm thinking, I mean, you can certainly say to people, but I'm imagining people stopping, or people saying, well, we just walk on the road because it's easier, etc. And looks like a person that's dangerous, of course, as well, you yourself, of course, pointed out. But, people being people, there's no real way to stop them from doing that. And I'll be in the procession itself, walking along, trying to keep people going, leading the rosary and things like that. The entire thing's about probably on the public parts would be maybe 10 minutes. If that, walk down and turn and walk back on again. I heard from soon-to-be Father Rooney this morning. He called to find out is it all set? And I was like, well, it doesn't seem it's going to work. He is also a volunteer fireman, and he got the fire department, the Norotan Volunteer Fire Department, to get their engine, the vintage one they have, the yellow vintage one, and he said that could then lead us along. So that's another vehicle there. There would actually be, if that would be allowed, there would be a fire engine to lead the way. So from the front of our church down to the corner and then back into our parking lot.
Well, we certainly, the post road, I'm not, although the fire, you've now thrown a curve, because I was thinking that post road's obviously a state road. We can't
Right.
close that, and we can't do anything with the state between now and June 2nd, or whenever we're, but now all of a sudden, if the fire engine,
I think that would create more of an issue.
Yeah, that
I do
would-
too,
that
because
would
then
be
people will
interesting.
feel that they want to follow,
They'll be in the road, yeah.
they'll be in the road.
Right.
I was thinking they probably will still stay on this, I mean, people, I assume, want to stay safe.
Captain, you need permitting, right?
Yeah, I think
For-
there's
yes.
permits for all.
Permitting for the
Within a
for the
short
roads. I think
time
if you can
period.
tell your group,
Congregants.
yes, that they can stay on the sidewalk, right? We're not looking to, go over and cause problems for them. They're all adults, and you can explain to them that
They wouldn't
the-
necessarily will be.
Well,
This would be
the children, make sure,
congregation. Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to explain is,
Yeah.
explain to them that we're allowed to stay on the sidewalk, and as long as they do that, everything is fine. If they choose to go on the street and something happens, it's just like if you're walking on the street any other time, people aren't meant to be walking on a street. So, if an accident occurs, it's kind of on them, which I would hate to have, so.
Particularly when you're walking with the traffic as opposed to against the traffic.
Yeah, if they were in the
That creates a
roadway,
real hazard.
they would even need to be on the other side of the roadway according to Connecticut general statutes.
Well, I'm gonna hope, the fire truck does cause me some concern, because then you feel, that you're following in behind that. But the people, I'm gonna assume that sidewalk curves there, and it's 100 feet down to your newly paved road, that they will not put their
Children in the street.
children out into the street.
The vehicles
I'm
need-
going to assume that,
But
The roadway,
I mean,
I'm actually thinking, little kids, you can, in a sense, control it better, but
well,
tweens and other,
well, we certainly can't
people,
close the road, so.
when you get I was wondering though, in terms of like what we do at funerals or things like that, when we have to clear the parking lot and a car comes and stops the traffic momentarily until everything's out and doesn't even stop both sides.
that's for vehicular traffic.
Mhm.
That's not pedestrian
Yeah,
traffic.
that's for vehicles.
So we're helping assist vehicles exit the parking lot.
Right.
that are allowed to drive on roads, but
Right.
we're not stopping traffic to let people walk on roads. That's, we can't really do that
That's a different.
without permits and things like that.
And there's also, again, back to the there's statutory language that provide for funerals, allowing them within the procession itself to violate some otherwise upheld traffic laws, going through red lights, that type of thing, not having to yield. But Father, I don't think anybody disagrees that this is a great occasion, and we would love to accommodate you the best we can. I can't speak for the traffic authority myself, but I think there's a way to safely do it. I think what the captain mentioned, in that maybe you could address the congregation before it gets underway, that, you know, that we're required to remain on the sidewalks at all costs, because you're putting yourself in danger.
Yeah, the
But
road is not closed.
The road is not closed, yeah, and we can't close the road for something like this, especially with kind of short notice. But I also think we could offer having the area police car be close by, just to, you know, kind of slow down traffic, that kind of thing, so. But again, I can't speak for any kind of a final rule. If you're asking for approval from the legal traffic authority, I don't think they can give that,
No.
so.
Because I can't close them. and
Correct.
It's not permitted. Yeah, if we could just for that, if you could communicate with Captain Dema for an exact time, and we could just.
We've done it for other churches who've requested to shut down roads. I think Norotan Presbyterian did a water walk, and we've told them the same thing. We can't shut the road down for the purposes of pedestrian traffic, but we've been in the area, and they stayed on the sidewalk pretty well, and they modified their route and procedure, and it worked. So.
You're talking maybe 10 minutes or so, so maybe you can coordinate with Captain Udema, and I'm sure there's, you know, whoever the supervisors that day, as the chief mentioned, maybe parks a car right by that Christian, I forgot the bookstore there, and maybe that would be helpful, just to calm traffic a little bit if everybody stays on the side.
Okay.
Hopefully that's a good compromise and works for everybody, from a safety standpoint.
Yeah, okay.
Why don't we chat tomorrow?
Okay. I'd spoken to, because I wasn't going to come, he asked me if I'd come to the meeting, so I said, okay, I'll come to the meeting. And,
We're glad you came.
And I then pointed out to him, when he told me about the fire engine, I said, that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I don't know how we'd do that. So he would actually talking about, why don't we have it come and be in the parking lot at the reception? So
Or
kids
it can be at the ready, at the base of your driveway, so that when the procession comes down, it can lead them back into your property.
That's true, too.
Oh, that's true, yeah. That's
I
true.
mean, it can just be stationed in,
Yeah.
so they have to, they
Yeah,
can back to the church through the parking lot.
okay,
Because you have I mean, that's a pretty big
yeah,
part of the procession would just be on your property.
right, okay. But, and we could get some, I'm thinking of the same thing, the safety of the people, so
Right.
we could get a police presence, police car or
Yes.
something around.
Yes, we can make that
sure
work.
that everyone's safe. And I'm thinking of, you know, especially, but you know, everyone, you know, people decide they feel like doing this, or they feel like kind of wandering off, and it's, you know, but it's a religious procession, so, you know, I can't, anyway, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Nice
so
to meet you.
we'll talk.
We'll keep in touch.
Okay,
Okay, good, thank you.
thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, appreciate it.
Okay. Other public comment, or are you going to wait? It's on there? Okay. It's in both. Old business, military patches?
As the commission knows, there's a couple of months, again, throughout the course of the year that we wear customary, recognizing certain times of the year. This happens to be Military Appreciation Month. So our officers, we're not looking for approval from the commission, we're just more or less advising that this is one of the months, one of those special months that we change our patch in honor of our military. I think we also do that in October, and also in April for the, as you know, the autism, and for, what's the other one, breast cancer
Breast
awareness.
cancer.
Excellent. Okay. Great Island signage.
Yeah, I believe you guys had discussed at the last meeting, some signage that we'll need down there. We talked about some at the boat area, just to keep people off that dock, because it is for emergency boats.
So we're talking about the water,
So the waterfront.
waterfront part of the Great Island
Right,
property.
right.
Having additional signage there.
Right.
The rocks, the dock, places like
To
that.
keep
yeah.
people off the
beach area.
property
Right.
from the water.
Oh, so coming in that way, not
So-
people going,
Right, not people going up.
got it, now that we're in boating
Yes.
season, it's the incoming
Right.
boat traffic.
Yep, so we're working
Roger.
on getting some signage there and also additional signage at the exit of the beach, just for people to be aware not to turn left and to watch for pedestrians. So that sign should be coming pretty soon.
Great, thanks.
Awesome, okay. Building issues update.
Captain Mastriani is new in the building issues job, so I will continue with explaining what's going on until he's caught up to speed with all that stuff. But just an update, our women's locker room is almost done. It looks fabulous. There's a couple little tweaks that we have to make, and then hopefully it'll be finished in the next 2 weeks. The water heater was replaced and water is back on and it's warm, so that's
The little things in
fixed.
life.
Fixed. Nitrogen system it's ordered, so we're just waiting for it to come in and that will be installed. The split system in communications ordered, and we're waiting on that. And then the server room AC, I think there's a temporary one in there right now, and we've ordered the fix. So that should be coming in the next couple weeks as well.
It's great, got all four of them.
Yeah, so
Is
it looks,
the communications room, any thought, is that, we're gonna hit warm weather soon, is it gonna be?
yes, we've
We don't
already,
know. Should I not
yes,
ask?
we've already had slight issues down there since the temperature has been rising.
We're looking to get a portable system
Right.
in there in the
Meantime.
meantime until we get the split system installed.
Well, those are all the major issues, that's
Right.
good. All right, excellent.
Okay. Traffic issues, planning and zoning applications.
So as the commission knows, we get sent copies of a lot of the planning and zoning applications from the town, and they check off traffic authority on it. I don't find that, I had an offline conversation with Commissioner Hufford, and I think we file these, but I don't find that the LTA really needs to weigh in on these two specific ones, one being a regrading of the parking lot or part of the property at the Norotan Fire Department, and then the other one, the installation of Tesla electric vehicle charging stations in Goodwife Shopping Center. So again, I don't think the commission needs to weigh in on it.
They are both.
Just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Okay, excellent. And then 1897 Post Road parking proposal.
I think that's Mr. Vaccaro.
My name is John Vaccaro, and I live in Darien on Ringside Road, and I'm a local developer in town. And behind me is Johanna Kavita, who is the owner of Moose, which hasn't opened yet at 1897, but she owns that business. I thought it might be useful for her to be here.
I'll just briefly, I didn't see this before, where is 1897?
Right
Post
next
Road?
to the Norotan Fire Department, across the
Okay.
street.
You're coming
Yeah.
out Rings End?
Oh, I know where you are.
The
Yeah,
new building that hasn't opened.
yeah.
So,
Beautiful building.
thanks.
Thank you.
I've got 4 of these, so somebody's got to share.
That's right, with the sharing.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry.
We'll share. Thank you.
So,
I think I've seen this.
if you look at Post Road from Norotan Avenue to Dickinson, and you look at the north side of the street, that's all basically commercial. And then on the other side of the street, it's also commercial. And that's what's, been kind of developed over the last couple of years. We've developed 1950 Post Road, which is where Danny Cycles is, and Roost, and the other one right next to it, which is right next to St. John's Church. And then in the last couple of years, we finished the building that sits on the corner of Dickinson, right by the firehouse there. And if the street, the northern street, which is Garden City, is a very wide street at the mouth, and then it goes into residential. So the reason I point that out is that the, sort of the front side of the post road is commercial, and the back side, as you get away from the post road about a half a block, that's all residential. And so what we're talking about is just adding some parking places on Dickinson, which wouldn't even make the mouth of that road as wide as Garden City is. But the thought is that we could use some more on-street parking, not a cost to the town of Darien because we would pay for it privately, but we could add potentially 3 parking places. So the chart you have in front of you, you'll see an outline of the building with that sort of, rotunda or, circular part of the building. And then there's parking behind the building, there's 24 parking places. And then if you look at, I think it's the right side of the slide, you'll see Dickinson, and we're proposing to put 3 parking places there, which would basically come almost right up to the sidewalk. That's a brand new sidewalk. And there would be a curb installed so that, the cars could get there. I don't think we can get any more than 3 parking places there. And so the proposal is just for 3. Truth is, the opposite side of the street, where the firehouse is, could really use some parking. There is one parking place that I assume the fire department just put it there. It's just asphalt, no curb. And so, but I'm not here to talk about proposing that. I would just say that it would be useful if there's parking on both sides, because when there are events at the fire department, they fill up the entire street. And the people in Dickinson, they're not happy about it, but they don't really complain too much because they're kind of used to it at this point. And there's not that many events anywhere where the whole fire department is where everybody's there. But the point is that when Moots opens up, I think that one of the things we experienced at 1950 Post Road where Roost is that even on a Saturday, we have 62 parking places. The place is really, really packed. And so the thought is that there would be this overflow parking on the street. Would be most likely it's short-term parking. People would probably go into Moots and buy whatever they're going to buy, and then move on. So anyway, that's what we're talking about.
So you're looking for 3 spots.
3 spots.
Is there any negative impact to the operation of the fire department? I know they come on the post road, but...
I don't think so, because we have to basically cut away our lawn and push it, so that the parking essentially is still off the street. In other words, we're not widening. The street will stay the same width it is today. It's just the off parking will probably move, I would say, at least 10 feet inward in order to get the car off the street. The cars aren't that wide, so.
So I only have two comments. So one would be any impact to the operation of the fire department, number 1. And number 2, John, you had made a comment that when the fire department has, certain festivities, people park along Dickinson, neighbors don't like that. So are we taking a residential community, making it a little bit more commercial by bringing that parking down into that community?
If you look at the parallel, which is Garden City, which is really wide, okay? There's parking on both sides of that street at the mouth. We're not even proposing that. We're really just saying on one side of the street, our side of the street. I can't really speak to what the fire department would ever do or not do. When there's a firehouse event, they park in our lot, they park down Dickinson, they park all over the place, probably even at St. Luke's. So I don't know that what we're doing has much of an impact on that. It does provide more parking for them on the street if people want to use it.
We'll have to go out and look at it, so obviously we wouldn't take a vote on anything today, but if people are parallel parking, I'm worried about they come down Dickinson, so I also want to see if it has any impact on the traffic on Dickinson, but someone has to stop and then parallel park into that, so if they're stopped there, you hear what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You're blocking the road and you're turning out. I just want to see how wide that is. And
it's not a highly trafficked road. It's just not. By the way, I don't think Garden City's a highly trafficked road either. It's not anything like Rings End. I live on Rings End.
Has anyone had an opportunity to go out yet or no?
No, but can I ask a couple questions too?
Sure.
yes.
What kind of store is Moots? I'm just curious.
No.
It's a coffee slash market.
Okay,
We will have grab and go, ready to eat meals. So it's more of a transient type of.
Okay.
So it is in and out.
so currently, the way it's set up, do people parallel park there now? And you're saying you want to just cut it,
We just want to cut it in.
but nobody parks there now? Is there no
No,
parking
and-
signs there?
There's no parking
Okay.
signs, there's.
So you can
I
legally park
don't,
there?
I think you can legally, but you'd be in the street. I think
Oh, okay.
It would obstruct traffic
Okay.
for sure.
And then along the same lines you were discussing, it would be more of like a short-term parking?
I think so.
Is
I mean,
that
If we wanted to
something-
put a time lit on it, we could do that.
Okay, that was my other question.
I
Okay,
mean-
like a 1 hour parking
It
or
should
something?
be more like a loading, more, that's the way I kind of visualize it.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking of is if you don't label it as that, and then people start using that, and they're off for the whole day or a weekend, or now
Yeah.
the whole point of you getting those spots is kind of gone. Because
Sure.
somebody's just
Sure.
leaves their car there, so.
You know,
So John, so there is legal parking there now?
I think so.
And you're gonna cut it
There's no
in?
parking signs.
Okay.
There may be.
But he's talking about cutting in so
Yeah.
that the cars would, so although it's legal, you can't really do it because you're in the road.
Right, so this would
So
be
you're
better
actually
if you can,
making
right.
parking spots
Yep.
We're
that
making
don't
parking spots.
exist right now.
No,
Did I
I
say that right?
have to-
Yep, you got it, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't remember seeing signs saying no parking.
Okay.
So, I mean, right now, again, people want to park further down Dickinson, they're sort of parking.
People could legally
on
park.
people- Not quite on people's lawns, but pretty close.
Okay.
So a couple of factors I think that
Yeah.
the commission should weigh in on or consider. And I had this conversation back and forth in text or email. John, I don't know if you were on that, but with Jeremy Ginsburg.
Yeah.
And from a legal traffic authority kind of perspective, I'm just knowing people the way we know them, I'm envisioning them pulling in Dickinson from the post road and then parking the wrong way in those spots, because it's just more convenient. And if that didn't happen, if you pulled in Dickinson, you maybe pull in the rear driveway of Moots and then try and back out into Dickinson and then park there. So there could be issues with that. Potentially turning around in the fire
Is
department
it right
property.
now, is parking one way you come in off
You
Dickinson
come in to the parking lot
and
off
then you
Dickinson.
are
and then
exiting the post road?
Exiting the post road. When we built it, we thought about changing it and given that it's on US 1 state highway, and that's the way it's always been since it was built in the original building was there in 1960. So there's no point in trying to change it.
Were there other comments from Jeremy?
No, these were my comments to Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
And then the last thing was the possibility of increasing traffic on the surrounding secondary roads for people to angle the right way for those spots if they're coming through Garden City, Clock.
Because the only
Which
way
area?
to legally get into those spots is you've got to come down.
neighborhoods, yeah.
You've got to come through the neighborhood. Because there's no, if you're going in here, you have to, you can't exit, you can't exit out of your parking lot onto Dickinson to then park in there. So, and they can't do it from the post road. So the only way to park in those spots is to come down through.
Or do a wide turn in the driveway.
Isn't that true now? Isn't this
A wide
one
turn
way?
from our
It's
driveway.
one way in.
Yeah,
So you park out there and then park.
yeah.
Right. I wish Moots was open so we could see how it's all
Right.
going. I live right there, I'm waiting for Moots to open.
I'm anticipating them being very busy. We're going to be under parked.
Is there, I mean, I would like, fire hydrant, anything like that around there to our knowledge? We had that issue with
I just want
Cafe
to go out
Nero
and
right
look
now.
at it.
Yeah. I know, we gotta think about that.
Um,
All right, well,
all right, well-
you don't mind, can we go
Yeah.
take a look at it? Yeah.
Which one, Cafe Nero?
There's an issue out in front of Cafe Nero now, right? It is temporary, like grab and go. Some people
Yeah.
stay there, but there's fire hydrant there, and also with the light, you know, there's limited parking, 15 minutes, whatever it is. People just, they don't listen to that, and it causes, you know, some issues there.
Another park place.
Yeah.
We own that building too.
All right, well, thank you. We will kick the tires, so to speak, go out and look at it and
You up to good work, John. Buildings look great.
I really do.
they look great.
Well, we've got Rowan Heights we have to finish, so.
That's all right, I'll get there.
Congrats on your new business, too.
Yes.
so much. We hope to see you there.
I
Thank you.
hope
We
to
will
be
be.
there. Okay, new business.
Will the
Go.
Sun, will you be open on Sunday morning, so when the church lets out, everybody can come over?
We need that, because Mama's is closed on, that area needs
Oh,
us
there
on
you go.
New York.
Mom is open.
It's open now,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Oh, wow.
It's now open. Shows how much I don't know high schoolers
You guys
anymore.
can say the kids
My
graduated.
kids graduated.
Yeah, oh, they're there.
Okay, anything else with traffic? All right,
so.
new business, promotions?
Promotions, we have technically, if maybe you want to say officially, sworn in some of our new supervisors, which we're very happy about. Captain Andrew Mastriani was sworn in this past Monday, a couple Mondays ago, I guess now.
Yes.
Also, Lieutenant Dan Scombros was sworn in, Sergeant James Martin, and then also Sergeant Brian Wallman was sworn in by you all a couple weeks earlier. So we're happy, congratulations to them.
Do we have the ceremony date yet, or no? Are we
Getting close.
finalized?
We just locked in 2 dates, so I'll be forwarding to the chief afterwards.
We have so many people.
Yeah.
Calendar syncing is proving to be rather difficult.
And then we also swore in Officer Katrina Cook, who began her basic training at the newly established Stanford Police Academy this week? Last week, last Friday.
Started last Friday, yep.
That's
Yeah.
really
When did that open up, by
When
the
did
way?
that open?
Stanford?
Just, they had a ribbon cutting ceremony last week.
Where is
First
it?
session in
Station?
15 years.
Yeah, at the station?
Yep.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah, from the videos online I've seen, it looked like they had a couple of daunting first few days.
So getting space going forward is probably less problematic now, you would think?
Does that add capacity for new officers?
Or did it fill up?
It did in this case. We don't know how regular they're going to hold the classes. If they hold them as often as maybe Post or some of the other satellite locations, but it's the newest facility and it looks like they're going to have a,
It gives us another option, which is always good, because academies run throughout the year, different months, so, especially one that's local.
yeah, Officer Cook was happy that that last minute opportunity came in, because it's a lot closer to where she lives.
That's great.
Yes, for
Training
those of
went
you watching, our brand-new officers get 6 months of police academy training.
do.
So they get hired, they're full employees, but they spend 6 months at one of the police academies, which has been difficult to get spots in the academy. Our lateral officers that come from a different department obviously don't have to go through that 6-month training, but
And then I just want to mention on new business, we are working on our internship program. We're doing pretty well. Looks like we're gonna hopefully be able to get that rolling soon. So I just wanted to,
have we had interns in the past?
no, I don't believe we have.
We've never had an official program, but we have had individuals here during summer months for one reason or another, helping out with different
Yes.
civilians. But they're-
Is that for college or high school or a combination of both?
We're looking for college students.
College students, okay.
Yes.
How many are we looking to take in?
I'm looking to do one, one at a time, one at a time. Unknown how many sessions a year. We're probably gonna just try and line it up with
the school calendars.
right school calendars. So I think because we're just starting this, it's the first time around, we're just gonna go one and see how it goes. And then if we have, you know, a good result, then maybe we'll add more in the future, but I just foresee it as one at a time.
You think in June, July type of timeframe, or?
We haven't gotten that far yet.
All right.
So
It's in the works.
it's in the works.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Keep us posted. Okay, that is it. I see nothing else on the agenda. If someone has anything, we need to set our next meeting. I know we are together Monday, the 27th, correct? To march
Yes.
in the parade. Everybody got their comfortable shoes?
Oh, I did want to add, the captains and I and our honor guard and our K-9 unit, on one occasion, we attended 2 different law enforcement memorial services this week at Stanford Police Department, and today, Norwalk. Days are so busy. They were well attended, and the shows were run, or the events were run very nicely, and they were proper and appropriate tributes to those fallen officers.
Okay.
Sorry about
So-
that, we were working on a date.
That's all right. So I think our meeting is the 6th, our regularly scheduled meeting.
6th?
Yep, I'm around.
I'm on, I think I'm here for any of those. Why don't we shoot for the 6th? We're missing Kevin, so let's, are you, Brent, just, we have, Rick has full information. You're fine for the 6th. Are you fine for the 13th?
I am, yep.
How about our command staff? 6th and the 13th, both okay for people?
Let's see.
The 6th would work better, but
Okay.
if it happens to go to the 13th, I can probably make
13th,
that
I'm
work.
not here.
There you go.
We have an annual meeting upstate for Connecticut Police Chiefs Association.
Lucky you. Okay, I'm gonna hope it works on the 6th, and we will put that link, and then we'll all be together on Monday. We will meet here at 9:40, 9:30 or something to get our Jerry up there. Okay,
Stretch the legs out.
meeting adjourned.
9:30.
Patches.